I'm just gonna do a video on making this thing run. Let's see if we can make it run. So I have the basic chassis and turret, although it's gonna be initially. Although I don't have it driving just yet. So this is gonna be the driver's seat, radio operator. We have the gunner seat, commander seat. Later, in the future, because I don't actually know how to play with people online in Stormworks, so I could just make it so that I can turn the commander seat, like press a special button, so that you can manually drive this thing and shoot all in one seat. That's probably what I'm gonna do first, because in the meantime, the commander is responsible for scouting with that turret on top. By the way, this thing has no loader because it's on a autoloader. So pretty nice autoloader. It doesn't work currently, but I have the codes to make it work. Um, to basically explain what this is, it's going to be a main battle tank. It has no extra armor currently. I will add armor in the future, but for now, I'm just going to work with um, oh, hello, Davy. I feel like I've seen you before, but what I'm gonna do is add the armor later. I'm just trying to get this thing to drive and fire. So it has a artillery cannon as its main armament, as a heavy autoloader. I can decrease this to a light autocannon, but I'll leave it as a heavy for now. I noticed that infantry are die more effectively with the light autocannon, so I might change it, but it's good as a multi-tool. This is the commander's sort of scouting thing. This is where the commander can sort of look around. That he should be able to fire the main armament, and whenever he is using the main armament, he will be like using his gun sight, not the gunner's gun sight. This will have a stabilizer. I've added a stabilizer before, but it is a little bit challenging. Not that the autoloader, or not that the stabilizer itself is challenging, it's just implementing everything, making sure it goes up and down while having it stabilized can be a little bit tricky, but we got it. So now for the engine. This runs on actually it runs on a jet engine, or yeah, jet engine. So the question of what it's based off of, um, I don't have I mean, my inspiration, I'm fascinated by German vehicles. So you could say it's a Leopard 2, and you can notice that from past designs, maybe. Let me pull up a past design. I mean, I like to have this sort of design, but mo they don't really have every tank I have has like sort of its own inspiration. I like to base it off of real stuff. Like I my inspiration for this gunner sight, I took it from the Leopards. I know the Abrams have it and all the other tanks, but primarily it was the Leopard 2A5s, the newer ones, that has this interesting gun sight where it's not like connected directly from here. Uh, this past design is good, just too compact. What other tank designs I have? I was inspired by the Soviets with their really compact tanks. I love their compact tanks. I don't know which one it was. I believe none of them look like a Soviet tank, but I try to keep it sort of narrowed down. I think it was the MBT-5 that I made. That the whole purpose of it was to be as compact as possible. This thing's whole job was to be as low to the ground as possible, make sure it's condensed as much as it can. This is a single crew tank. The issue with this one especially is to it's hard to aim while driving. So I'm trying to figure out a solution for that. I have to fix these. I mean, this one is pretty nice. It's a three-man crew. Um, I have no reason to make the newest one a four-man crew. I just have an extra place for a dude, and I may as well put it there. I don't see no reason to not have an extra person for capability. You could be there as a replacement for the others or just a repairman. Anyways, back to my main vehicle. I have. I'm going to make. So I think first, I'm just going to make everything work off of the commander's seat. I'm going to not bother coding everything into the other seats just because I don't have anyone to play with anyways. So if I can make it at least prepared for me alone, then it's just combat ready. So, engine, engine. I never placed the actual engine code into it. So let's remove everything inside here. Well, everything that's blocking my view. So as you can see, this has three intakes. So she drinks a lot of air, but she's not a gas guzzler because I only make this have one combustion engine, and then it goes all the way through to output into two external outputs, which goes right into a large generator, which powers these two small medium batteries, but they're relatively small. I could not physically fit another battery here. I might be able to put a third one here, but I think that's going to be a major issue in the future. And with all my tanks, I love hybrids, especially jet engine powering an electric generator. But I always have this issue where if you drive for too long, you run out of battery. Some you can't even go that far without running out of electricity completely. Anyways, I don't need to have you sticking out, but let's get my engine control module. I have a jet engine control module. So what this is responsible for is just to tell the engine what to do and how to work. We can place this somewhere nice and safe. Right there is fine. So we're going to connect you up. I, I need you, so engine on and off. Go to the commander's seat. For now, it's going to be number 6. We have RPS. RPS goes to RPS. We can throw you into RPS. We have the jet compressors. We only have one. I don't have space for more. That might be an issue in the future. We'll find out. Are you planning on putting them onto the workshop so other people can try them out? I so I love the idea of doing that. I used to play that one game. What is it called? There's a game on Xbox and PC that's similar to this, but so much simpler. Um, I don't remember the name of it, but essentially I made cool designs, and then every time I wanted to show it to the public, I liked making a sort of export version where I take all of my personal advanced things and I remove them. And then I just leave it as a bare bones, sort of like how people do it in real life. You know how the Abrams, when they gave it to Ukraine, they didn't give it all the fancy stuff. That's what I like to do. So once I make this, I try to make sure all my designs are pristine before they are exported. Um, but I never really like doing just a simple copy and paste where my perfect newest design and then throw it on the workshop because I don't know, it seems kind of unique or special that I get to keep the original most advanced and as an added bonus, you yourself, the player, can, change it to however you like it. Trailmakers, yes, it is Trailmakers. Um, where was I? So for collective, collective never mattered for me. I can, we're just gonna do a number. Yeah, Trailmakers is the game I'm talking about. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, it was Trailmakers. Uh, so much simpler than this game. I don't, the only reason I played it was because I couldn't play this game. I didn't have it at the time. But I don't think I posted too much designs. I had a lot of designs, but I never posted them. I made helicopters in that game. I made tanks. The only issue is there's so limited resources and there's only one base cannon. At least in this game, there's like three, two of which you could probably put on the tank, the artillery and the battle cannon. The artillery is a little bit, actually, it's a way too overkill. I don't know. I I wouldn't say I don't know why I use it. I prefer the artillery cannon just because I'm more of a heavy hitter. You know, on War Thunder, I prefer my 8.8 over the 7.5 centimeter. I would rather sacrifice a couple seconds just to really make sure what I hit dies. In the meantime, starter motor. I don't know if I have a starter motor. We're gonna have to give it a starter motor. We can put it right here. So we need to cross. By the way, I'm sorry, I don't remember who is watching me play. I think you're the one guy that commented one time when I was posting that one accident on Farming Simulator. But if you have this game and you ever wanted to play with me, you can just friend me on Discord or something. We can chit chat. In the meantime, I'm gonna get a nice little starter motor. By the way, a starter motor is not necessary, but it quickens up the startup process for these jet engines by a whole lot. And they need it. They do need it sometimes. Throttle to jet. So this is throttle. This is starter. What else is there? Okay, so you're all ready. Um, let's make sure electricity is all connected. I know there's something I'm forgetting, but I'll deal with it later. We're gonna make sure you're connected to both of them. We're gonna make sure you're connected to that. And then this is gonna be our main, yeah, the rear one is gonna be the main battery hub. So we're gonna connect every single thing to this battery. I also don't have the fuel lines set. I'm gonna have to set those up. By the way, chat, if you have any ideas on what I can improve, what I can change, what is better, I won't guarantee that I will do it, but I'm always open to new ideas. It's always good to learn. For the seats on the inside, I will add monitors to everything and stuff, and the dials. Right now, it's very empty, and that's just on purpose because I'm not focused on the interior just yet. It's just I made sure there's a plentiful of space. Are the jet engines better for the tanks rather than normal diesel? No, not um, not at all. I just love jet engines. There's two major reasons why you shouldn't do jet engines compared to diesel engines. And there's two different types of diesel engines. There is the pre-built ones, and then there's the ones you can custom build. I always recommend the custom built ones. There's only an issue that I personally hate engines because whenever I fix them as a mechanic, I I got disgusted of them. So I avoid them. I just love jet engines in general, but jet engines are very underperforming. They don't have as much strength. So if you put too much what's the word? Too much resistance, like if it's towing something or going too fast, it will lose power really quickly. So it's kind of have to be a sacrifice between either you want Uh, there is literally no benefit to having a jet engine. They're not powerful. They take too much space. They suck up so much fuel. So you have decreased range, decreased power to weight ratio. There's no benefit. Don't do it. The hybrid technique. So if you want a diesel engine and then electric, that is something you can do. I don't know the exact benefits and sacrifices. It probably just takes more space. But when it comes to jet engine, just don't do it. Literally don't do it. What I'm doing is wrong. I don't know why the United States does it. I truly don't, because there's like no reason to, but you can do a little bit of research on your own to figure that one out. Anyways, what was the other thing I was going to do? So I got you hooked up. We can should be able to. Oh, the fuel. The fuel. The fuel lines need to be connected. So you all go here, here, here. So we can have you here. Now we're going to do liquid spawner. Don't know how to spell that, so we're going to just do spawner right here. So I don't like the pre-built fuel tanks. They are not too efficient. I'm not going to do that or that. We're just going to do this one. Yep. So when it comes to fuel, this vehicle uses it, first of all, it runs off of jet fuel. But secondly, the way I built it, I think it's pretty cool. It has two fuel tanks spanning all the way over here. So if you look in the inside, there's just a nice long panel full of fuel. In the future, if I ever do get into actual combat with tank versus tank, and I face a big issue where it leaks too much, it leaks all my fuel after being shot, I will divide these up into segments. Probably should do it now, but I choose not to because of my own stupidity. Anyways, we're gonna do another spawner here. So now this thing has three fuel tanks. It has two small ones, or they're not small, they're decently sized on the sides, left and right, and in the front. You may be asking yourself, why would you put fuel tanks right where you're going to be shot? Well, it's because I'm going to add additional armor in the future. This is the sort of early design. I'm not adding any external armor, and I have added external armor on my previous tanks, and they work marvelously. So this one, for example, you can see how this is looking at like the groups, the segments of the vehicle. This is one big old hunk of metal, one piece. So tanks, or not tanks, every bullet in this game can penetrate a certain amount of blocks, and if it's like one pure block, one same thing, for some reason it will penetrate it easily. But the moment you add layers, it goes nuts. So you can shoot like a main battle cannon round, probably even an armor piercing one, right through here, and it will not go through and damage the fuel line or even the main crew compartment. But yeah, so we got fuel. Fuel is good. It won't drive yet, but I don't need it to. Let's see if we can start it. So let's just make sure that sucks. Chat, if you guys know how to turn off that stupid siren, I might need to just make a new world, and turn off that, disable it. But in the meantime, I won't. In the mean, no, not this one. I need to turn off infinite electricity and stuff. So photo mode, custom, this one. So no infinite ammo. Yes, overheating. I don't want infinite electricity. We should be good. So the way you get inside these vehicles is fairly simple. There is the front compartment and the rear compartment. Um, is it a hassle to get inside these? Yes. Why not do it from the top? Because of the turret and because of past designs, I did try doing that, and it's just not worth it for me because then you have to think about stairs or ladders, how to get up there, and all that stuff. Anyways, let's go here. Commander seat. We will sadly have to turn on the sound and listen to that horrendous siren. Let's see if we can turn it on. Okay, it's trying to start, but I don't hear the click. I don't hear it trying to initiate. It doesn't sound like it's starting. Let me try again. Actually, let me save this design real quickly. We're gonna go AFK really quickly, or not necessarily AFK. I just want to delete this world or something, and I want to make a new world without that siren because I want you all to hear it, but can't really hear it if there's that. We're just gonna spawn into here, add-ons, default. Natural disasters, let's turn that off. I think that's the only issue. Hopefully that solves the problem. Is there any mods? I'll just activate all of them. And let's go. So hopefully in this mod, or not this mod, this world, we won't face the siren. Alright. Um, just as a question towards you, do you use what do you use? Do you even build tanks or maybe you're just a viewer? Like, do you use pre-built engines? Did you use the custom engines? Maybe you prefer the battle cannon over the regular, or not the regular, just the artillery. Anyways, let's just put a quick dial. We're gonna see when it actually starts up. Oh, I forgot about something. Hold up. Let me put this in. I forgot the composite. I did not? Wait, how's there no composite? I swear I thought these engines use composite somewhere. Hold up. Um, I guess not. Oh well. What was I missing? I guess we just started up. It's gonna need electricity though. Hold up, let me forget the electricity. Alright, let's start her up. You said you hardly build in it. Usually let smart folks like you build the cool things. Well, technically, first of all, I'm not I'm not smart folk. Um, you're probably talking about those YouTubers. Secondly, if you try, if you learn, you can make some really nice creations. And while it is, yes, very easy to just go on the workshop, copy a design, there's something about building something by yourself that makes you love it. It's almost like your baby. I don't know how to describe it. Like you feel proud of your creation. And if you have, and because you built your creation, you know everything about it. You know how everything works. Now, there is an issue right now that contradicts that where I don't know why this is not working. I am assuming that it's not getting fuel. Why is it not getting fuel? I don't know why. Let me see here. Oh, I see, I know why. So when I made these pipes, I made them valve controlled. So you actually have to manually turn them on and off. The issue is I forgot to do that. So now when I turn on the engine, it will open the fuel lines. Why did I build this? Well, in past designs, when you don't have that, the fuel can leak. I don't want my fuel leaking because fuel is precious. And I want to convert these tanks, these military tanks, into civilian tanks. You know, you can use these as transport for heavy equipment. You could make it a tow vehicle. You know, there's so many possibilities just by converting these masterpieces of art. So let's see if this thing starts now. Now it's starting, and it started quick. Okay, next step, making it drive. So, where is my tank? Drive, not the turret. So there is still, like as you said, where you copy other people's designs. Something that I did copy, or just plain on stole from the marketplace or workshop, is the tank turret control sensitivity. I love it. It works like a charm. I don't understand it completely. It's a little bit too complicated for me. But, you know, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. I appreciate whoever built that. Don't know who though, and I'm not gonna go search up exactly who did it. But where is my Panzer steering? I've had this since the very beginning. It's been in every single tank of mine. Does it barely work? Yes. But does it work? Also yes. So I may as well use it. So this is what's going to be responsible for the movement of my tank. So we need throttle. So I'm going to make it, I don't remember if I had it so that when you drive with WASD or if I drive with the arrows, we'll just use WASD. So we're gonna use not nope nope nope. Give me you. Give me you. That is not the one. It's been a while since I've been on Stormworks. Left clutch. So we're gonna put left clutch here, right clutch here, left reverse gear. Um, we'll make the left reverse. We're gonna make the reverse gears all the way at the end. Or at least, no, that's not the end. It's like the very beginning. So we can make it so that you are like this. You are like this. Next up, what is on the to-do list? Throttle. Throttle. Wait. Um, I don't think we don't need throttle in this. Wait, I don't understand. I forgot. How do we power these generators? Um, throttle WS. My brain is not working today. Hold up. These Oh, okay. I see the issue. I accidentally attached these things. The motors were generators. Simple mistake. Oh well. So now we can actually power the thing. Also, there's a third person on our live stream. They want to comment, say any ideas. You know, you're all free to say anything. Um, let's see if she drives. I do remember one thing that I am too lazy to fix, and that is the gears or the left and right is inverted, but I don't remember which one it was. So She's up and running. So that's reversed. And we broke the engine. I promise you I know how to drive, mostly. So let's reverse this. All right, let's see. I can't see. I might need to add like a light or something so you can much easier get inside this thing because in serious situations where you're just relaxing outside for some unknown reason, maybe resupplying and an enemy tank comes out of nowhere, it's kind of annoying that it takes a good couple of seconds to get in. So, forwards, we have good forward. How is our reverse? Okay. Oh. This is a 1-to-1 ratio of forward and backwards. Let's see if we can turn left. So left and right is inverted. So we're gonna have to fix that. Let's see what happens when you just drive straight and you're turning left. So that's also inverted. So let's go back into the place and let's fix our left and rights. Because apparently I keep forgetting to change that. Don't mind my driving skills. Ooh. See, this is where it's better not to be in front. Such a shame. Anyways, where were we? So we need to invert left and right gear and left clutch, right clutch. So we're gonna get take you. You're going here. You're going here. We're left reverse gear is going here. Right reverse gear is going here. That should be fixed. So there's no reason for me to check. All the logic stuff looks complicated. Not really. So I understand. Now, wait, are you talking about the logic here or like the logic when you actually have to figure out like where is it? Like the microcontrollers. Because the logic over here is fairly simple when you do it by yourself because you're like, okay, so we look at this. This is steering AD. If you name it and you follow the line, okay, so steering AD, what does that mean? What does steering AD mean? Oh, well, you look at that. It goes here. It goes to AD. It goes to where I would usually press A and D over here. Oh, I would be driving. So that is responsible for that. Okay, okay. Well, what does RC mean? I don't know what RC means. Let's go follow it. Oh, so RC is for this clutch. You don't my I don't really know how to explain logic, but when you look at it from the surface, it's like mathematics. Math looks complicated until you know what each thing means, especially when you um let's just say for example, when you do a math test, it's so complicated and stuff and there's so many things. But when they teach you it, when you go through the notes and stuff, it's not that hard, especially when you go through stuff one at a time. It's just when you combine everything, it looks complicated, but you can map it out with your eyes, with your mind, that hey, this singular wire is only for this. It's just gonna start it up. And when stuff gets more complicated, it is gonna get hard, but you can make some fairly simple designs that just get the job done. So if I save this, I don't know I don't know my simple tanks. So when we go to so the terms Panzer 182, one of my first tanks with the autoloader on top of that. This was as simple as it gets. You could probably build this by yourself because I built this when I knew nothing about Stormworks or how it works. So there's not that many wires. Like it's not It's not crazy. You just don't gotta be scared about it. You just gotta figure it out. Y'all, this was back when, so this was this was my custom microcontroller for turret movement. It's not the best, but you'll get the hang of it. You just gotta start small. That is why if I show you my, so this is my first tank. This is my first ever just full-on tank design, and this is the first ever fully functional driving tank. Comparing these to my most modern tank is quite a development, in my opinion. But structurally, they're all the same stuff. They all function the same. They just get more and more compact, more advanced, more better. So if you try doing this stuff by yourself, if you're too scared to, like, you got an idea and you don't know how to do it, just start small. Everyone starts small. This thing only starts up and goes forwards and backwards, I believe. I'm just kidding. Apparently it does not drive at all. But, oh well. Anyways, where was I? We're going back to the XM9, ninth generation main battle tank. So she drives, she she moves around. So I think for now, for the commander, this should be good enough, I presume. Oh, right. We need the gearing. We need to make sure this thing doesn't kill itself by running out of battery. So we can give it a dial. I need to figure out its output, how much electricity it's producing, how much RPM, what else? I need to know how much electricity it has and how much fuel. And this stuff can actually get moved to the side. There's no reason for you to be here. So we're gonna erase you. And we're gonna put some dials. We're gonna put you. We got you. What else do we have? Um, I don't need anything much else. So let's power you up. Once we power you up, we're gonna name everything. So we have power slash fuel. We have power power output. We have so we can put power output. We can just connect that directly into power output, so we know how much electricity we're making. So the primary is going to be how much fuel we have. I don't have the thing yet. Secondary, oh, you know what? I actually, yeah, I know what I'm doing. So secondary is going to be battery right here. And then we're going to get a meter because we need a liquid meter so we can measure how much fuel we have. So we can put these two over here, and then we have the main fuel over here. So Fuel capacity, fuel level. We're going to take fuel level. You're going to be our main concern. So we're going to do top one is going to be right here, and left one is or bottom one is going to be right here. So this is going to be perfect. We can write down that this one is going to be left fuel, right fuel, and finally main fuel. Nice and simple. I don't like writing down the full name. I like code names. That's why I have M17SR as my username. It's not like you're not supposed to pronounce it. Actually, I don't know how I'm gonna rebrand myself, but the the way I want to be known is the Hamudinator. But that's for a later issue. In the meantime, I also want an idea for a name of this vehicle, but that's up to you guys. I like naming every vehicle I have. Everything deserves a name that I create. Um, so we have output, we have fuel, we need the actual RPS, we can connect the RPS. RPS is gonna go, oh, this is RPS. Um, looks like everything's connected. So now, why did I do this? I did this because I wanted to see just how much energy we can pump out without running out of battery. So that is a major issue. Why is my left fuel in the negatives? Let's find out. Let's find out. So left fuel is hooked up to level. The right fuel is also hooked up to the level. So that means somewhere in here there's a leak. I found the leak. It's because of these things. No problem. We cover it up. And to make it look smooth even though no one's looking. Wait a second. That's unnecessary. We're just gonna do this for one side. Okay. So now, problemo solved. And we can make it look a little nice. Like that. Like that. And now, hopefully, we have fuel on both ends. Look at that. We sacrificed like 100 gallons or liters or whatever this uses, but everything is working fine. How's our RPS? We make a lot of energy. Holy cow. So what happens when we drive forward? So it looks like we're losing way too much energy. And we crashed. So those are two issues I do not like. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the gearing from the actual jet engine to the generator. Why? Because I want to output as much energy as possible to compensate for the lack of energy, or else these poor batteries are just going to starve themselves. We can always add an additional third battery, it wouldn't do much besides delay the inevitable, but it's always worth looking. You can see that it's a little bit slower on startup. This is because of like what was it called? It's a little bit more energy to get her back to full performance. Let's give her a second. All right. So my solution to this is we're going to force her to start, whether she likes it or not. So we're going to do was we're going to add we're going to add two instead of one starter motor, and on top of that, we're going to make them on a gear ratio so that these things are literally quadruple the performance. Actually, 9 times the performance because these are 3 to 1. So now we will hopefully not suffer that issue again. If it starts starting, turning off, then we are taking too much energy and we just have to call it a loss and decrease that energy consumption. In the meantime, let's see here. Where is my starter motor? I think it was this one. All right, so we got two of these bad boys. Hook them up, and that's not good. And now let's make sure everything is on par. We got 2 new viewers. I hope you are all entertained by my struggles. Now, let's see if this thing starts up. She's up and running. Now, I'm a little bit scared because I feel like the moment I hit that gas pedal, it's going to immediately turn off. Let's see. Let's make it daytime real quickly. Let's make her go on a little run. Oh. My bad, chat. Apparently, your YouTuber cannot drive. I promise you I'm not drinking while driving. Let's get back into. Okay, let's see here. Oh my goodness. It's worse than I thought. Okay, let's see here. How quick is the recovery rate? This is a very interesting obstacle. I don't know the exact solution to this besides completely changing the whole jet engine setup. I need to figure out a proper way to have electricity without running out of it so quickly. If I don't mind having it like run out of electricity and then it just waits to recharge, but if it takes too long for it to recharge, then that's just a massive issue. Plain on waste of time. But anyways, I think this progress is good enough for now. So what we're gonna do is take a break from the engine and work on the turret a little bit. So there's two things we have to work on, I guess. Wait, actually, I don't know. We have to make the autoloader. The autoloader is simple. We have to actually have turret movement. We have to have the autoloader for the heavy autocannon. There is also the gun sights. The gun sights is also pretty important. On top of that, we also need you to be infrared. Infrared lasers better. Um, she is a beauty, that's for sure. Let's see here. When I start this, I do want this to expand. What do I mean by that? I'll show you in a second. So we can put this right here, and it's going to power these two. We can set them to 0.45, and what that will hopefully do is power these motors so that these two cameras turn to the sides upon electricity. Unless I inverted it, which I did. I'm going to do negative 0.45. Perfect. This is really nice because now, well, when it gets the chance to do it, now we have a wider FOV. It will have the standard front, so it can sees in front of it, and also these two corner ones. Who knows? Just in case. You don't want that guy coming after you. Probably blow the tank up on accident. Anyways, what is next? What is next? So we need to give this some ammunition. So what I learned is that high explosive is just way too complicated, or not way too complicated, way too overkill. If you shoot a vehicle with it, it will just vanish, like it non-existent. So we're going to use armor piercing. This at least gives the enemies a chance. Um, is it still a little bit overpowered that it's an artillery cannon? Yeah. In the future, if we ever do a competition and someone complains that it needs to be a battle cannon or whatever it's called, I can always convert this. I can give it a different turret, same premise, just um, what is it called? Just different gun. Could probably be a lot more compact if I do actually change it to a battle cannon. So now that this has a little bit of ammunition locked and loaded, ready to go, we can start figuring out how to make an autoloader. So I need is turret movement. We're gonna grab you. See where we can fit this. Nice comfy spot. This is a nice comfy spot. We got one there. We also need the autoloader. So I built one before. So we have the vertical stabilizer. I do need that. So we're going to take that too. The MBT5 autoloader, I believe it's this one. Yes, I do need to combine these someday, but I don't know how to do it yet. Not because it's not because it's like impossible, it's just that the only issue I'm having is that this one right here is not made by me. So if you look inside the code, it's it's not dangerous. Like this is not crazy, but for my expertise, it's a little bit complicated. Say this is something that I've done for from the surface that actually looks quite similar, but it's not that. This is fairly simple. If you guys are interested in what it means, it is so this is the autoloader. This is what its purpose is. First, it checks, is the gun loaded? If it's not loaded right here, then it will first send a pulse that will last a certain amount of time with this capacitor, and it will open the breech, then close it after this turns off, and it will turn on the little pump that pushes the bullets into the actual breech. So this top section, see how it connects to this top section? It will take the current angle and turn it into zero. Why does it overrides it and turns it into zero? This just means that if the tank was pointing all the way up or all the way down, it will just center it so that these things, what is it called? So that the actual breech of the gun and the main thing are aligned. Because if you see here, this is purple and this is green, that's because these are two separate pieces. If this can point like up and down, and if this was pointing up, well, obviously these bullets wouldn't be able to fit through here because it's not in the same height. So when you do that, after it does that, it will put the new auto loading angle, and while it does that, at the same time, it will do this. And when it's loaded, it's going to know it's loaded, and then it will stop doing all of this, and then it will just allow the current angle to do its thing and not be overridden by the constant angle. Now, where was I? We have to also, we have vertical stabilizer, the MBT5. So we can also now put the tilt angle. So this is how the stabilizer works. The stabilizer measures tilt. All it does is it measures how far up and down from the horizon it's currently angled. Nothing crazy. We can throw this we can throw this in a very compact spot. We can just throw this right here. Boom. Problem solved. So it's going to take this input and we're going to put it inside tilt. And we're going to take, huh, we're going to take vertical angle. We're going to put it in the vertical angle. We're going to do the output. Wait a second. Vertical, wait. So my logic, the thing I want to do is I want this to be the final thing. So current angle, we're going to take, this is the output. We're going to make sure this is the final thing. The very, very final thing. It's going to, wait a second. Where is, um, why are you weird? What are you? Did I accidentally give this thing the, that one velocity pivot. Whoopsies. Let me fix that. So if you don't know what I did, I accidentally gave it the, where is it? There's um there's a special pivot that this one, compact pivot power. What does it do? It freely rotates without anything. I don't need that. I need this to actually turn around because if it doesn't, well then my gun sights is not gonna, point to what I need. That'd be very bad. Very, very bad. What's next? Um, we can take your output goes there. We also need this output to go here. The commander is going to be complicated because he needs to be able to switch from pointing to wherever he wants so that he can go scout and, command the tank to tell them, hey, look 52 degrees. But also, he needs to be able to just lock on and keep the same angle as the main tank. So, as a temporary solution, we're just not going to mess with it. That's going to be for later. We're going to make the commander look through the gunner sight. We're not going to mess with this. Actually, change that. We're going to let him look through this, but it won't be able to freely rotate for now. And I did the same mistake over here. I gave it the weird not freely rotating thing. We're going to combine this with this. We're going to allow you to get battery charge. Where is a charge? Right here. Um, that's beautiful. We can do breach. Breach is right here. That's not breach. That is not breach. That is a light switch. Where is breach? There's breach. Breach goes here. Autoloader. Where is the autoloader? I don't remember. There's the autoloader. Right over here. We got you over here, you over here, and finally, you over here. So now all my beautiful layers are auto-loading. So this is, by the way, um, 3 layers of ammo. Is it overkill? Most definitely. But this is going to be a little bit of a complicated process where it needs to recognize that, hey, you go that way, you go up, you go up. We're going to figure that out. We're going to figure it out. Not now, but someday. Now, where was I? Back to here. Loaded. Needs to recognize, is it loaded? There it is. So now it knows that it is loaded. We have HS. HS is um, tilt. This is the vertical angle. This is like the final angle. Wait, what? Oh, oh, it's not even for it. Anyways, HS, you go WS, tilt. All right. So we're gonna do add. Looks like W11 joined and sent his message. Okay. Nice to meet you too. Let's do this. So we're gonna put B. B is going to be the HS. A is going to be the angle that you want. And then AB is going to be the final up and down. AD is going to be simple. I don't know how to do a two-way stabilizer. Far too complicated for me because it takes too much. I just don't remember how they calculate it because it mixes up with like speed, current direction, and all that stuff. So I prefer firing standstill anyways. I don't even know what I like the stabilizer, but you know, it gets the job done. Zoom, zoom, zoom is gonna be complicated, or it's not gonna be complicated. I'm gonna use the actual. Where is my zoom? I know I have a zoom. This is zoom. You had how many settings? I think that's it. I could be wrong. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Input. Its input is gonna be. It's gonna be number 3 or number 2. There we go. And you're going to be responsible for the zoom. It's fairly simple. What else is there? AD velocity. AD velocity goes to um ooh. I mean you go there, but why are you over there? You should be going over here. There we go. Let's give it a test. Let's see if she's going to let's see if she's gonna turn. So we go there, go here. We don't have to start it up. Let's test going up and down. Wrong button. Wrong button. Nope, 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 nope. I was not trying to start it up. We'll turn on the engine. So, let's see if we can move the turret up. That's very, very lovely. Nothing is happening. Exactly how I coded it. It can turn left and right though. So that's good. Okay, so why is it not moving up and down? And I need to invert the left and right. So let's grab ourselves an inverter. And we're just going to simply make it so that when you turn left, it turns right. When you turn right, it turns left. Because it's currently inverted. So AD, no. Left and right gets in here. Where is it? Number 2 invert. And then external invert is going to go to there. Now, why don't you want... Oh, it was probably reloading. I want to make sure. Invert WS sensitivity. I don't know. Let's test it out. By the way, to the new person who joined in, this is how my vehicle looks like. It's fairly simple design. But anyways, the main caliber is hopefully loaded. Let's see if right and left is fully fixed. That is good. How about up and down? We're not getting anything. That either means something is not fully connected or there's a coding error. So rotation goes all the way over here. Okay, autoloader means goes to current angle goes to, huh, this shouldn't output your vertical angle. No, this should be over here, I think. Isn't that right? So it goes vertical angle, da da da, HS goes to here. Let's see if it works now. Nothing. How unfortunate. Hmm. May as well, just for funsies, connect the main triggers up. So number one is the heavy autoloader. Number two, or spacebar, is the trigger. We want these to be push, not toggle. Oh, why doesn't it work? Um, what the? Nope, nope. I don't know why it's not firing. Did I set it to the wrong? Why did I set it to this one? We're not doing the radio operator. Main trigger for the autoloader goes to this one, and artillery cannon goes to this one. You go here, like this, and she should be brand new. Alright, so it looks like our autoloader is working, or our auto cannon, main caliber. But that's why is it why no fire? Why no fire? Hmm. Oh well. Alright, well, I think, chat, that this is a good stopping point for today. Just to explain what we did, we were able to make things start, we were able to make it drive, we got the fuel lines connected. Tomorrow we're gonna refine that turret and its autoloader because it's not working. Um, Next time, if I ever live stream, we're gonna work on the interior because we need to work on it, give it some stuff, the driver needs to see, the gunner needs to see. And then finally, after all of that, we're gonna code in all the essentials, Commander is not supposed to fire, use everything, only if it has to. So we will make a switch sort of to allow the commander to activate main control and deactivate main control to allow his fellow passengers to do their thing. And once we get the base tank like perfect, I will upload it, you know, as sort of the base model. Um I might remove the stabilizer, allow you guys to work on it. I might remove the commander's thing. I might make it just not move at all, but that's for the future. And lastly, after all of that, we're going to add extra armor from the front, sides, turret, especially the front turret. We're going to give it thick old armor, composite armor. I also want to add smoke launchers. I added smoke launchers in the past, but I never got them to launch in sequence. I got them to work, like they work when I tried working on them individually, but I never got them to work on the tank itself. So this is a living example of one. This is my um this is my main battle tank that also carries passengers. The my inspiration for this one was the Israeli um that one Israeli tank. I don't remember it. It's not clicking. Hold up, AFK. Okay, where was I, chat? I was just talking about how this was the Markava. Yeah, the Markava. That one Israeli tank. Uh, Basically the same premise, keep everything in the turret, engine in the front, but we're not talking about that. We want to talk about these smoke launchers. They are super fascinating. I can show you one working by itself, but it won't work like if I never got it to actually work. So we can just link this. We're gonna make it set to number 4. So I don't care about any of this stuff. We can just show you how it works. Oh, it's not the best, but it works. And what its purpose, usually you would launch two, and if you launch two, then you would get 5 smoke launchers technically. If this is far too effective, then I would decrease it to only fire one at a time, so you get 10 smoke launchers or smoke launches. Yeah, that's about it. Anyways, chat, that's all I have for you. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Goodbye.